let's get straight into it. This is a fake tanning application Q&A, quick, informative, fun video. All the products I'll be recommending will be Loving Tan. They have an amazing fake tan remover. This is your key to getting rid of any tan that you want gone quickly, easily, gently, and then being able to start from scratch with a new tan. You need to apply this gel all over your body, let it like just sit there for 5 minutes, and then use the tan removing and skin polishing glove to kind of buff off that gel and then the fake tan. That is the quickest and easiest way to get rid of your tan. This is something I'm really proud of. You can see my hands are, look, I'm gonna say they're pretty good. Normally he'll get like dark knuckles. This is my method. I'll show you as I'm talking through it. Make sure you moisturize. That's the most important thing. You need to use something that is unscented, that is just going to nourish your hands and keep them nice and hydrated. If you have really dry hands and you put fake tan on them, they will overdevelop, and that's what causes that dark kind of like orangey look. Second, make sure that when you're applying your tan, you do not make your hands into a claw. You keep them straight like this. What that does is it prevents the fake tan from getting into all of these little lines in your knuckles. So when those straighten out, it makes those little areas there look darker because there's more tan concentrated in that little area. If you keep your hands straight and you use the glove and kind of wrap around each finger with the most minimal amount of product on the glove, then you will glaze, you'll just go straight over those creases, and your hands will look nice and even. Yeah, this is always hard. The chest area here doesn't tend to hold fake tan as well as other parts of the body. What I like to do is apply just a normal full body tan, and then I will go in once I've done my full body and apply a little bit more just to my chest. After I've washed everything off, I'll grab a little bit more tan, apply it to that area, just that area, make sure it's nice and blended, let it develop over that day, and then when you wash it off at night, it will be darker. Funny you should mention that. This is Loving Tan's newest product. It's a Loving Tan 2-Hour Express Mousse in Ultra Dark. So their 2-Hour Express Mousse in Dark has always been my favorite, even over the 8-hour, well, it's called the Deluxe Bronzing Mousse, but it's like an 8-hour tan in Ultra Dark. This one has been my favorite in just the dark. So now that I've brought out the Ultra Dark, this is like my go-to product. And this is 2-Hour Express. This is the fastest one that you'll get if you don't want to be sleeping in it. So definitely give this one a try if you want a really nice deep color. Otherwise, they've got all different colors as well, different shades. So if you don't want something as intense as this, they've got other ones as well. I have a code which is Loz Ultra, which will get you a free deluxe applicator mitt with any product purchase. A thick, creamy, emollient, greasy moisturizer is what you need, ideally unscented, but if it does have fragrance, it's okay. So use something that's really creamy, that's going to almost act as like a barrier to the tan, but will still let some of it penetrate into your skin. And if you don't have anything like that, you can even use Vaseline. If you're still really worried, what I like to do, which I do on my elbows, which you can see they haven't like overdeveloped, which proves that it works, is to grab like a little cotton pad, add a tiny bit of water, and kind of just dab the area. All the Loving Tan products have guide colors, so you can see where you have applied it. If the guide color goes a little bit lighter, then you know you're doing a good job because there's less of that tan chemical to react with your skin there. Just be careful that you don't wipe, because wiping is going to leave obvious marks. If you just kind of tap it, it shouldn't overdevelop. Sometimes, but I purposely, if I've removed a tan, I do like to leave a few days between removing it and scrubbing it off and then reapplying a new one, just because the fake tan works with the dead skin on your body, as gross as that sounds. So the more dry skin you have, the better, because that's, you know, dead skin that's ready to eat up that chemical. If you've just freshly scrubbed your skin, then it's not going to have as much to cling to and to work with. But if you have lots of dry skin, patches, like if you find that tan is often patchy on you, then you should exfoliate, because you need to get rid of the uneven patchiness. So you'd rather have like freshly exfoliated skin that might not go as dark with the tan than have a darker tan but have patches everywhere. So it depends on your skin type. Slowly, yep, same as your hands, it slowly comes off. But the benefit of it is that like that first day that I've fake tanned, and basically the second day, I don't even really feel the need to wear makeup because my face and my body are all the same color, and that's a really nice feeling. Doesn't smell like coconut, promise. You're just gonna be careful what like sports bras you use. If you have a sports bra that's really tight or has really like defined seams that will eventually like rub against your skin. I have some like seamless sports bras that really don't rub off my tan that much. So it's just about the actual activewear that you're wearing. Of course, sweat and any kind of contact with your body like will eventually fade. I mean, it's gonna fade regardless, but with the gym, it might fade a little bit faster, but you can minimize it with the clothing that you wear. And I do it on the day of. I've never had an issue with it removing. I'd rather have minimally lighter legs and have smooth legs if it's an event than have minimally darker legs and stubbly legs. Yes, always. You don't have to, especially with like a 2-hour product, but I even sleep in this because it just gets the maximum color out of your tan. Yeah, I've just learned how to like contort my body and like stretch and do this and that. It's really easy. But if you do have trouble, Loving Tan also have a back applicator, which is kind of like this paddle with a little sponge on the end, and it helps you to reach the back. I switch between using the face tan on my face and the actual, like when I'm doing a whole body tan, then I will use the fake tan that's for my body on my face because it's just easier, and I'll use whatever's left on the mitt. You do not need a lot, especially with these darker shades like the ultra dark in both formulas and also the platinum. But if I'm topping up my face after it's like faded from washing it all the time, but my body's still got the tan, then I'll use the Loving Tan face tan. I actually can't put it on my face in this particular video because I've just had a skin treatment, but that is how I apply it. Just apply a little bit to a glove. You can even use a synthetic makeup brush and just apply all over your face like you would a moisturizer. You just need to make sure that your prep is good. If you have, again, dry skin, just know your skin type and prepare accordingly. If you have a tendency to have really dry elbows, make sure you really like, you can almost just like slather on moisturizer. And then with the gradual tan, just make sure you take your time. Use a Loving Tan applicator mitt. That's what I've always used, and it's super soft. It's like this velvety, beautiful felt fit fabric. It's so nice. It really helps to blend out the product. It's not gonna get on your hands because the inside of the glove has like a plastic lining, like a membrane, which prevents the product from getting onto your hands, which keeps them looking like normal like this. And then as it fades, you can use the gradual tan again to top up the areas that are fading, like your hands. And then if you do have dry skin, make sure you stay on top of moisturizing it with an alcohol-free, fragrance-free moisturizer so that you don't get that patchy looking skin, which often happens when your skin becomes dry and then starts like, you know, flaking off in certain areas. I don't know, it's always been fine, and you can always just wash your clothes. And normally the fake tan marks are inside the clothing, so you can't see them. Like, you better see it on like my tag or something, but you don't see that on the outside. And that's a really good question, actually, one that I haven't had before. You just have to look for a foundation that has a warm undertone, which is like a yellow or golden undertone, because that's the color that fake tan normally makes your skin go. So then I just make sure that I look for like the medium shades. If you're on the cusp or you're not sure which one you should get between 2 shades, always get the lighter one, because you can always just bronze up your foundation with a bronzer. Yeah, I think some people struggle with that. The only time I had that issue is when I've over exfoliated my legs and then they're not like dry enough, because that has happened to me for sure. It's like a slight little like watered down tint on your skin. Don't shave before you fake tan. That's the biggest thing, because you've just created like all these little holes not holes in your skin, but you know what I mean. Don't exfoliate for a few days before and then try it. I feel like you would get a way better result. With fake tanning, a lot of people say like, make sure you shave and exfoliate and everything beforehand. I mean, yeah, some people that works, but I feel like the majority, if you're trying to get a really deep color, you should probably do that afterwards, as in shaving. Just don't exfoliate until you remove it, and then wait a little bit. Well, that's hard now because this has come out, so this is going to be taking the cake for me in terms of the dark. This is now my favorite over, between the 2-Hour Express for the 2-Hour Express formulas, the ultra dark is my favorite now, as opposed to the dark, which was my #1 favorite. The platinum is great. I feel like I would have been wearing the platinum as my favorite when I was probably like a little bit younger. If you're just like a really deep tan, go with the platinum. So there's a barrier to entry with platinum because it does go so dark that you really need to make sure you're super confident in your preparation. It requires a level of like finesse, but it is stunning when you've worked it out. And so this one is probably my favorite then. It is my favorite because you get the benefit of the 2 hours, but also the benefit of the deep color, so you can't really go wrong. Neither can I. It's just the way that I mean, it's a good thing if your tan isn't lasting longer than a week, because if your tan is lasting longer than a week, it means you're probably not showering enough. If I'm being perfectly honest. Like it's got to go off. It's got to leave sometime. So eventually, like, your skin is going to be shedding itself. So you can't make it last forever. And the longer you try and leave it, the more likely it is going to be like all patchy and, you know, defeats the whole purpose of having a nice tan. So in which case, just remove it and start fresh. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, leave them down below and I'll get to them. And also all the information will be in the description box. Bye guys.